Yo Kendo, how are you, sir? And yeah, so welcome to the Saturn version. I'll tell you what, I know how much you just got a couple more things to set up, but I know how much you love the Jill model in this game, so I'll let the demo just play while I finish up doing a couple of bits. Ugly Saturn Jill is best, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, mate. I hope you get better tomorrow, or at least they narrow down the issue. Is it going to be a Jill demo or a Chris demo? Jill gets a really weird wobbly head in this version. Oh, you're going to get a Chris one. It's probably not looking as bad as you'd expect. It helps that a few of the Saturn's problems are fixed with this emulator. Like Neptune, he leaves the map right there. Yeah, it does, and unfortunately the emulator doesn't quite fix that. In fact, as you'll see, her eyes seem to have this weird polygon wobble effect, which doesn't help her expression at all. It's hopefully the scene on the West Wing now. No, you're gonna get more Chris. Chris just stealing this limelight. About a couple more minutes and then we can go. There is a few quirky little changes in this version. I mean, the sound effects on the whole isn't as impressive. But some of the backgrounds have a few extra little details in there, which I've tried to point out. The upper west dining room has a few extra details on the ceiling, and there's a couple more in the guardhouse when we get there. The biggest background change is actually the lab at the end, which is notably different, which is actually really cool in this version. Yo, Ark, and hello, Neptune. Nick, better known as Neptune. You've got about one more minute, and then we shall begin. This stream is, of course, sponsored by Stella Artois. Here you go. Here we go. Here's Jill. Just look at these wobbly eyes. Look at that. Right. So just a brief catch up. The Saturn emulator that I'm playing on is prone to having a few audio glitches, so the sound may drop out. If that happens, I'll do a save state, reload it. Thank you, Nick. And indeed. So we just bear with me if I have to restart the emulator and stuff. But hopefully I can fire up this save state right now and we will get sound effects. This is where all the pre-tests that I've done before coming live will completely fucking fail and not work. working. We are working. I can't actually remember what I was doing. Can anyone remember where it crashed last time? Whoa. Like that. That's what'll happen. That's absolutely infuriating, that is. I was hoping we'd get a little bit more further along than 30 seconds, but that's just how this goes. What's really infuriating is you've got a task manager cancel it because it just keeps running with the sound in the background. Really annoying. But that was not. It was yellow fine though. That's the thing. Yeah, thank you, JC. Yeah, the glorious Saturn emulation working to its finest. To get around the glitch, you've got to let the game get to the title screen for some reason, and then you can go. So hopefully it'll behave. I think I've just got to go up and do the snake, to be honest. Because I know I've put 2 crests in already. Yes, I got the wing crest. I got the armor keys I've still got because I haven't. Right, yep, I think we've just got to go up and get the crest. Who misses this classic soundtrack? I love the remake. Like I say, I'll never ever not say the remake's not the definitive game, but I hope some of you can understand. And I know BB Max with me when I say I do prefer this version. I know it's crazy to a lot of people, but the charm that this game has, I just adore it. That's awesome, Kendo. That is. Some of the Resident Evil merch is really cool. I think I said it just before you came on, JC, but the Saturn version was notorious in that it didn't quite have as good sound effects. But here we go. I used to be able to do this no damage, but I am not the player I used to be from the 90s. Bastard. One bite, what a shame. What a shame. Am I poisoned? Damn it, give me serum.
Chris! I poisoned? Damn it, give me serum.
I'm sure the serum must be there. I'll be right back.
Where's James? We need to know if this version of Rebecca meets his seal of approval. I don't think we ever discussed that on the podcast, Kendo, but yeah, it's not a bad one. Gonna let Becky have her moment. Oh, a miss. I hate the way that like the modern games condition you with auto aim. When you go back to the older releases, how many times do you just like hit the R button and expect it to be there? Speak for yourself, Nick, better known as Neptune. The story behind Stars Tyrant is fascinating and heartbreaking. It really isn't. In the event, it never gets covered in a podcast. Around the year 2000, when Team Fortress was a thing and Counter-Strike was on the horizon, where it had already come out, and I got a PC for the first time, me and a few school friends decided to get a clan together just for some shenanigans and whatnot. And so we chose the clan Stars, which is why the Stars is in the brackets, like the old-fashioned clan names of the 2000s and whatnot. And Tyrant was just simply my online username. So we had Stars Tyrant, Stars Umbra, Stars Acathla, Stars Splinter. There's about 4 or 5 of us. And the Stars thing has always stuck, and it's always a bit funny when people call me Stars, because like I've always associated the word Tyrant as my username, not Stars. Yeah, username and ideas behind them are always fascinating. I mean, the real Ark Thompson in the chat here needs no introduction. He doesn't have to say anything.
You all right?
Yeah. What happened?
You were bitten by a poisonous snake. Are you okay?
Ah, my head is killing me.
I think you will be all right because I gave you a shot. But please be careful.
You saved my life. I owe you one.
Foundation of such a beautiful relationship.
I'm glad I could help.
Nicktoon. As a Castlevania fan, I have a very soft spot for the Chris Redfield voice actor in this game, because he played our boy Richter in the original PlayStation version of Symphony of the Night. Is he no longer with us, Kendo? I did not know that. That's heartbreaking. Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that. Let's go for the considerably more difficult garden section in this. It's not massively different as such, but it's just I find the Cerberus a lot more unpredictable in this. You can't always rely on them to do the same thing twice. If you can stun lock them with pistols, it's great. So in terms of like the major Saturn changes, we're unfortunately not going to get any until we get into the caves. And then you will, if you're unfamiliar, there are not hunters down there on this version, and it's what makes the Saturn version super special. The ticks are actually a really awesome looking variant on the hunter, with their own unique kill animation. And you know what? I love the garden in the original. I love just the atmosphere of the outside sections in this game. It's just so quiet and fantastic with the odd howl. Of course, people not familiar to the very original game like this will notice I'm on caution and there is no stagger animation, which made it a lot harder to tell if you were not very well. Oh, those glorious herbs. Oh man. Ooh. You notice the blood pools that form underneath. The monsters are massively low quality in this version, with no transparencies. The emulator hasn't even fixed that. They were just a solid object like that. So this is a great example of what the Saturn emulator's done, because this texture in the water is the horrific, JC Wesker will know it well, the horrific meshwork transparency. This is the first time I've actually seen it fixed, so it actually looks glorious. It's really impressive to see the game, you know, actually more comparable to the PlayStation version. So I think Saturn Chris looks pretty decent there actually. It's a decent amount of detail. A lot more bulkier than the PlayStation model, but I think that's actually a really good image there of Chris. Well, that's the thing. The ticks first, from what I remember in their animation, is they first cut your throat, so you just sort of stood there, bleeding out, and then they do the decap. It's like a standing decap. It's a really cool animation actually. I will try and get it to work because I can use save states and do it. So it's not like I'd lose massive amount of progress. Yes. As long as you can get the dog staggered like that, it's sick. You forget though, Kendo, what you can't actually see me do in the background is I am actually using save states because the emulation is so unpredictable that I daren't go for any kind of length on ink ribbons. That was really unlucky. Yeah. So this is actually a changed background in the Saturn version. In the original, there was a slight continuity error where this corridor went on sort of artificially too long. It's actually been brought a lot more forward in the Saturn version. You don't run anywhere near as far, and I think this texture's different as well, just slightly. It's not massive, but there is a slight difference there. And Kendo, I agree. The classic guardhouse is way better than the remake guardhouse. I think it's way more eerie, a lot more like it has like an almost Thing kind of vibe to it. The weird sound effects is the emulation. The Saturn version music is comparable to the PlayStation. Hello, Roomware. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining. It's sadly not in this version of the game. You will not see a hanging guy. Yeah, I thought there was a clip there. Good gargoyle statue. progress here actually. No, not so great. Look at the detail on that stars badge, guys. Look at that. That's HD. That is. Was that a 16 by 16 texture? Please forgive your ears. Yeah, the atmosphere in this guardhouse is so chilling. Just literally coming for this clip. I don't need to do anything else. Because you don't need the billiard table in this at all. Oh, I wonder if I can get as well. I'll try and save state it and see if I can get it to do it. Sorry, I'm just concentrating. It's pathetic. I'm on danger. There we go. The Plant 42 fight actually has an uncensored death in the Saturn version, where you actually get the full sequence where the plant will cut you in half, which I only saw for the first time like 2 or 3 months ago. Look at our man Chris there. Look at that expression. I'll try and get it to work. I know, yeah, it is available on YouTube. I'll try and do it myself. Look at this classic inventory problem. Don't look. It seems scandalous wasting ammo like that, doesn't it? Yeah, it is a bit artificial, the small keys thing. It just makes it... The thing is, it's not that it makes it harder, it's just that it makes it just more annoying. More, you know, it adds more backtracking. We're not going for ranks or anything like that, so it's fine. Although, remind me guys, does the first aid spray even affect your rank in this? Do you even get ranked in this? I can't even remember. I don't even think you do you? Oh, I've just thought we're gonna get the not the aqua ring, the shark tank with proper transparencies. JC Wesker, this is a monumental moment, mate. I didn't think the first aid sprays was a rule in this, was it? I'll leave this for Rebecca, it's way more fun. VJolt is it 16 in this you've got to get to? I know they changed it to 20, but I think in the original it's 16. Not the bees! Not the bees! Killing me won't bring back your goddamn honey! I've not ever done the arranged mode of the director's cut, according to Nick. Even though he was in the stream and watched the fucking thing. I know, I did. But when I was talking about streams on Discord a while ago, and I was thinking, oh, what can I do that's interesting? He was like, I'd really like to see the arranged mode on the director's cut. I love this classic font as well. They abandoned it after Resident Evil 2, I believe. Henry Sarton. Bit of trivia, a bit of inside information. When we were in Revolution, which is a popular vodka bar chain, on our Nottingham night out, we were posing questions to each other just for fun, and my question from Batman was, who is the name of the researcher in the Plant 42 report, and I got it right. Saturn decap for you. The blood effects are more or less the same. I think they're slightly more pixelated on the Saturn. Fucking thing doesn't save unless you go right down. If I remember, for the Saturn version, mind your ears in this section. I'm sure it doesn't even sound right, even on the Saturn. Well, it seems to sound okay. How does that sound compared to your memory, guys? Is it this version or the remake version? I can't remember. You know, I think I love the save room theme. Hey! I'm actually impressed. We got a decent run that time before it happened. Yeah, I think the save room theme, especially after you're gonna have to tell people, Nick, the name of the actress who did it on piano for the Giant Bomb top 10 games of 2019 was just amazing to hear. There we go. We've definitely got a foolproof way of doing it this week, guys. So we shouldn't be abandoning the stream. But we have JC working textures, working transparencies. Jesus. So you'll see a transparent, a background change here. The word ARMS is printed on the wall, which is not on the. Oh shit! Yeah, the word ARMS isn't on the PlayStation version or the Deadly Silence edition, I don't think. And this background is subtly different. There's more instruments on this wall over here. You know. I don't think you can trigger the video as Chris, can you, Nick? I don't think it ever does as Chris. Does it? I think I'm sure that's only for Jill. The FMV. Remind me if I'm wrong, guys, because I don't mind restarting the save state to do it. Ah. You never got as far as Chris? How many times did you play this? Which was the puzzle in this one? Kendo. I must say as well, and I'm probably, people probably won't agree, but I actually much prefer this. I think this is a lot more believable and plausible than the Aqua Ring. I felt the Aqua Ring was just a little bit OTT, and I just don't like Richard paddling. I know it's probably controversial, but it's just trash. What is he doing? He is just literally sitting there having a paddle. Oh, hi, Chris. Ah! Especially how amazing they made Richard's death in Remake Jill campaign. Which way would you prefer to go, JC? I have never seen Anaconda. This puzzle's not quite as complex as the remake one. There it is, named. Is it for the first time? Tyrant Virus. I thought the remake was very clever in that they put like nice little spins on the puzzles like that. Right. So we should get Rebecca. Bitter.
Rebecca, no, it's no use. The roots of it are in the basement. You could... Whoa!
Chris!
Take this vial with you. Use the information in it in order to make the potion. And
Potion?
kill the root. Rebecca, please.
Chris! Don't die!
Chris actually says potion, it's beautiful. Does that make Rebecca a mage? God, let's see if I can do this from memory without looking. And I don't know, is there not a time limit? I always thought there was. Interestingly, the transparency fix doesn't work on these bottles. I have just noticed. Another one of them. I'm doing this purely from memory, so I'm sure you're probably screaming, saying, "No, you fucking idiot! What are you doing?" I just need to make water and 2 again, I think. There was a video on YouTube. I can't remember who did it, and Kendo will probably tell me it's Resident Evil or somebody. Where they tried to fill the item box in Resident Evil 2. And to do that, they had to not discard any items or anything and keep all the handgun bullets separate and everything like that. You know, the video was like, was it possible to fill? There we go. To fill the item box. It was quite neat. Sonny Bauer, ladies and gentlemen, has arrived to see the glorious Rebecca Chambers. Wrong way. People, help my addled memory a little bit, but the colour scheme on Rebecca's costume here, was it not greener in the PlayStation version? It seems very beige in this. I'm alright, Sonny, thank you. How art thou? How are your Outbreak streams going? Forgive me, guys. I'm well aware it's a Thursday. It is a school night. Just forgive me. Begone, ye fowls. Ye foul sharks. I have killed Neptune, ladies and gentlemen. He is dead. Miss Eileen Valentine, hello. Welcome to Saturn Resident Evil, and thank you for watching. Yeah, we really need to get this. We really need to get these streams going again, don't we, Sonny? As we both eye JC Wesker over there. Right, I'm gonna do a save state. Let's see if we can get Chris cut in half. We all said this about 10 minutes ago, Sonny. Yeah, we feel this is far better. I think that applies to the guard house altogether, though. I think the guard house in this game is really chillingly eerie. Hello, Ethereal Curse. The emulation's not quite 100% for the Saturn version here, so the music is slightly off. Right, I'm gonna try and get maimed. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd just like to wish Confidential Report Nick's favourite game of the entire series a happy birthday. Right, I'm on caution. Come on, Chris. You must be on danger now. Come on. Here we go. This could be it. The body didn't drop because it seemed to have glitched. as he's still intact on the "You Died" screen. So let me try that again. That was kind of comical. That seemed to have glitched because the top half of the body is supposed to drop, but it seemed to have got stuck on the vine of some sort. In fact, if anything, that made it look kind of worse because it seemed to have sort of twisted and broke Chris and sort of contorted him in horrible ways, like he was into Suspiria or something. Come on, Plot 42, cut me in half. I'm alright, thank you, man. How are you? I'm fine. Chris is so hard in this. Look at that. All that beating is on yellow caution. Yellow fine, sorry. Right, let's try again. Right, come on. No, it's fucking not working right. I assume it could be an emulation issue because the top half of the body is supposed to drop. Okay, Johnny Case. Yeah, fucking tell him, Sonny. I'm using save states, guys, if you're wondering why it's oh, fucking hell, look at that, sound's fucked. I'm going to try it one more time to get it cut in half, so I'll just do it silently for a second. And then I'll start it properly. Literally, JC, the entire thing hinges on you. Oh my god, it's all glitching. It's just pulled him in half. Look at that, rotating. I think there's something definitely wrong with the emulation there. Yeah, listen, the sound is absolutely knackered. Don't do emulation, guys, unless you really want headaches. I said this in the last stream. But yeah, it looks like the emulation's broken there. The top half of Chris in the Saturn version usually drops to the floor, whereas it seems to be creating a little bit of an issue there, where it's rotating the model. It's worth saying that the Saturn emulation is still very much in its infancy. The Saturn was a very hard system to crack, and it's only really making like real progress. Made real progress in the last sort of 2 or 3 years, so it's still not perfect. There's still a lot of problems, but it's definitely getting there. Oh man, I made that save state. Oh, there we go. Whose idea was it to come in here without any healing items? Fucking moron. God. How amateur to get hit by a dead man's click. Yeah, Curse, Saturn emulation is hard work at best. If you ever watch people trying to do it, it either works really, really well and you get no problems at all, or you get a plethora of problems. I mean, I'm using an emulator that has a lot of modern texture work and stuff like that, so that's why the game looks way better than it should do. If I was to go for like a one-to-one emulation, it would probably be a lot better and less glitchy. But honestly, I'm just so excited to be able to play the game like fixed visuals.
I can't believe it. Are you okay?
Yeah, so much for him. We got to the root of the problem. Saved again.
I just...
Really, thank you.
You'd do the same for me, wouldn't you?
I guarantee it.
Well, Chris, this is Richard's radio. We received communication from Brad at the courtyard a little while ago, but he is still flying around in the sky. He obviously couldn't hear our voices. Maybe his radio is broken.
Why would Brad's radio be broken?
I see. Understood. I'll keep it. We should somehow let Brad know we're here.
At the pharmaceutical room I found a little while ago, I think I will be able to make something.
How is it a pharmaceutical room?
Anyway, Chris, I'm glad you're safe.
So I see. I saw the YouTube video of Eileen Valentine. It's unbelievable. Why is Rebecca all insecure there as well? And like, you would do the same for me, wouldn't you? Weird. Chris is about to get a history lesson on Umbrella now.
This room is fully equipped with medical supplies. I can treat you, except for your major injury. Would you like me to?
Yes, please do something for me, temporarily.
Most of these medicines are from Umbrella.
What's Umbrella?
Don't you know? It's a large-scale pharmaceutical company based in Raccoon City.
Oh, I see.
That line continues to make no sense, and the worst thing is they more or less kept it in the remake, didn't they? Chris is hilarious.
Chris, take care! Chris, take care!
Are we ready for? God, I'm terrible on voice actors. Is it Sergio Jones? Bloody eye, nice to see you. Thank you for joining the stream. Welcome to Saturn Resident Evil. And is it Sergio Jones, guys? People who are much better on voice actors than me.
Wesker!
Chris, you're alive.
My words exactly. Where's Jill? Aren't you with Jill?
I'm sorry. We were attacked by a strange monster. I lost track of her while we were scouting around. I hope she's okay.
I see. Well, it's not your fault. This place is crazy. If we stay here, all of us will end up dead. What should we do, Wesker?
We have to complete this mission. Whether we escape or stay and look for Jill, we don't have many bullets left, and we can't even protect ourselves. We're still in trouble. Chris, there are a lot of locked rooms in that house. Check them out one more time. There must be a place to hide safely. I'll look around the house a little more.
Okay.
Let's get going.
What should we do, Wesker? It's basically it, isn't it? Oh god, I hate this section coming up. I hate it so much. Alright, I'm going to try and factor in picking up all the herbs I've missed on the way back. So, I don't need the helmet key just yet. I won't take the pistol, I will literally just take that. 7. Fucking hell, there's 2 hunters before the next save room. I still think, bloody eye, Jerry, whichever way you prefer to be called, that these hunters are still, without a doubt, the hardest enemies in the entire series. I still, like, if I'm doing a no save run, like this still makes me like, they make me concerned.
This is Brad. I know you can't answer me, but somehow give me some.
This is Chris. Brad, can you hear me? Damn!
Yeah, these hunters are formidable as fuck. It actually breaks my heart a little bit that they've become so dumbed down as the series has gone on. I mean, they are pretty much a joke by the time Revelations came about. Whereas in this, fucking hell, these are harder than the boss fights in the game. That's it. I think after these, the Reapers in RE5, they still mess me up. Even though I know how to do it and I know the technique, I'll always fuck up a shot. That'll mean I always, at least every run, will fall to the one-hit death. Yeah, exactly. These are deadly because they're just so unpredictable. The Code Veronica hunters are interesting because they're not too bad if you respect them. But the moment you think you can try and run past like 2 of them, they will fucking ruin any run you are planning to do. As the Code Veronica podcast will tell, I think all of us fell to the hunters at least once. I forgot this one had this weird grey herb when you mixed all 3. Yeah, who remembers that? You don't get the big pile of green, you get it turns grey randomly. I'm going to take a 1 minute AFK and then we will battle some hunters. Be right back. Are you sitting comfortably? Let's go. This first one is particularly awful because the camera angle you have to use the audio cue as to whether it's going to jump on you. And the sound has fucking died since I've been gone. Ah! One moment, chaps. You'll get fed up with the Saturn startup noise that JC and I have heard for, 25 years. Here we go. Cool cutscene, know this. Look out for the beta background. Where's that passageway? Oh my god. Oh. Well, fucking hell. That went well, didn't it? Jesus. It didn't help that I was pressing the wrong button to shoot for the first couple. Jesus. I nearly want to do that again, but I don't want to embarrass myself if he does an insta-kill. It fucking ruins me even more. You bastard! Ah! Oh, I love it. Like I say, thank God, thank God we're doing save states, eh? Fucking hell. That's the wrong one. There we go. Oh man, these things. Honestly, the first time people played this, I'm talking about the people who played this way back in the 90s. Can you remember how much of a wall of difficulty this was? my god, my reflexes are so shit. I remember feeling for the first time when I played this and Hunters just like repopulated the mansion. I remember thinking, this is actually impossible. Like, this is what the fuck? What have Capcom done? Fuck me. Ah! Oh, look, and it's fucking killed the sound as well. Hunters kill you so hard, they actually kill the sound as well. Right, let's try and get this one down. You get a down attack if you manage to shoot it out of the air when it does its jump attack, but I am not that good. So I missed it. If you get that, you get a lucky down attack. Better. For fuck's sake! What? Oh, it's fucking murdered the sound again. I'm gonna do this without sound, just bear with. I'm getting fucking fucked off with it. Ah! Can you imagine if I was using the ink ribbon saving it's actually crashed? It has actually crashed. Imagine if I was using ink ribbons here, it'd be absolutely unbearable having to do this over and over again. And the thing is, the problem is I'm being stubborn with saving. That's the only thing. I've got all the healing in the world. I'm just not using it because I just want to get to the save room without doing it. I shouldn't be this shit at the amount of years and the amount of times I've played this. Yes, you motherfucker. I got the aerial hit, guys. I'm chuffed with that. Seriously though, what an awesome enemy, aren't they? Oh my god. Yes! Did anyone buy this? Did anyone suddenly think, oh, Wesker's such a good guy? Or did you guys just not suspect in the original? Back in the day. Do you think the Wesker reveal was well done? In the, you know, sort of back in the original 90s. Like the first time you played this, if you'd never played a Resident Evil game before and you didn't know any of the lore, did you know, or did you think that Wesker was the villain? up until they revealed it at the end. Serious question, I'm not messing about. I'm just interested to know. Because I honestly can't think I thought he was. But then at the same time, I think I was told beforehand, so it was kind of spoiled. It's just interesting to know the sort of different directions and ideas people will have had. Guys, I was gonna say, fucking hell! Please tell me I picked up the mansion key from the guardhouse. I've done that before, though. I will admit, I've come all the way back here and thought, where's the fucking key? Thankfully, the doorknob mechanic is not in this Ark Thompson. How's the light switch? This is a great room. This is one of my favourite rooms in the mansion. This. One can just totally imagine, you know, Spencer just coming in here and having a seat. Why have I come in here? Jesus. Tell you, and people who stream will tell you this. The mistakes you make when you're live and not concentrating properly, they're weird. Look, no reason to go in that room whatsoever. And for some reason, I just went that way. Sadly, Ark Thompson, I don't think Project Resistance will change that anymore. If anything, they'll embrace the Wesker wheelchair thing. So. It's the plotting the route around the mansion moment. It's trying to work out the path of least resistance. Fucking thing. How can it all go wrong? Fuck. Just you know what, Hunter? Just fucking do it. Thank you. We'll ignore that. I hate them. I hate them. What's my favourite boss of Resident Evil 1? It's in the name. It is in the name. Is your niece very young? And was it a very humorous commentary, Eileen Valentine? That's alright. It's okay. You go into this game knowing that the hunters are going to mess you up in some capacity. Yeah, I'm amazed I ever, did this back in the day with no saves and things like that. Oh, fucking hell, this is another one, isn't it? Fuck you. Yeah, the chimeras are super easy in this environment. Man. The fucking things. Oh my god. I've got to kill this one because it's my safe path back to the oh my god. Oh my god, these things, fucking things. Look at it. It's I'm on yellow fine. Did you see that, Nick? Did you fucking see that? That was a hunter decap. Fucking thing. Oh, you bastard. This camera angle is ruining me. What did I do to deserve this? I refuse. I refuse. Man, this is unbelievable. That's way more than 6, surely. Didn't I have 4 deaths on the first couple? Oh my god, even the spiders want some. Curse! I didn't do anything. They just don't like me. And this path back to the trophy room where the X-Day memo is. It's absolutely brutal. It's like there's no easy way to get there. Because every way has got hunters. It's fucking awful. There's Nick's face. Everybody, savour it. I bet there is about 70 hunters in this game as well. Well, maybe not in the Saturn version. Oh my god. Jesus. Oh my god. Fucking shot too early. Jesus. Mr. Richard Gibson 9000, welcome to some of the worst Resident Evil playing you will ever see in your life. I'm pleased you're here, but yeah, I can't promise you're going to see anything decent tonight. This is not going well. Oh, these hunters. Fucking hell. The thing is, if you go back on YouTube and you watch my director's cut dual shot stream, I used traditional saving in that one, I recall, and I did not have to struggle like this. This is ridiculous. The Saturn version's harder, I'm fucking telling you. It's the hardest version of the game there ever was. Kyle, thank you. Thank you for joining me. God love you, man. And when you upscale this game, can you downscale the hunters so they're just one big fucking pixel? It wasn't the fishing village, I don't think. It was the oh, it's the fishing village episode. But yeah, Jesus, that fucking boss at the end of chapter 2 for Claire. Oh my god. You literally have to do full fucking heal. Look at that, look at that. He fucking did the yellow fine, ladies and gentlemen, and the hunter did the decap. Fuck you, bastardo! Oh my god. It's fucking things. Sonny, why didn't I bring more healing? I need to be beyond green. I need to be beyond green. Fine, I need to be on like fucking. Oh my god, fuck off! Oh my, this is tense, ladies and gentlemen. This is tense. Oh my fuck. Ah! I've made it to the save room, ladies and gentlemen. Sonny, serious question, and Kendo. And believe me, I'm no way making excuses. I'm just having a really rough night. But do you find your ability is lessened if you are having to like engage chat and things like that? Is it just me, or is it like far harder? Like if I was sat playing this, I don't think I'd be struggling anywhere near as much. I swear I'm not just saying that. It does seem like it requires so much more concentration to do like both. And thank you for the sub, bloody hell. You don't have to do that. I don't expect anyone to sub to these. But I appreciate that so much. Thank you. I've not had 8 Ark Thompson. It's a Oh, Thrill Curse, thank you so much. You don't have to do that. I really, I realistically can't expect subscriptions until I can make this a more common thing. So I appreciate that so much. Thank you, everybody. I really wish my life would allow me to do this more, but at the moment, all I can give you is scraps, unfortunately. But I appreciate every single thing, so thank you. I am meandering because I'm just thinking about what I'm going to do next. So I need to go up to the trophy room, which means I've got a hunter to deal with. But I can't remember where that one spawns, so if I could get to it without engaging it, that would be decent. I think I've got a double green, I'll use that. Oh, fuck. Well, if nothing else, if this is giving people a giggle tonight, then I've done the job. Hype trading coming, who is this? Thank you. There's been more than a few bad days. You speak to the chat about the amount of rocket launcher shots I've fucked up over the years, whether it's an Outbreak or Resident Evil 2. There's been those big shots that I've messed up in big ways. My heroic moment on Decisions, where I managed to smash the locker open for Artie and JC Wesker, and I think I ran up to Thanatos and fucking missed. Was not my finest hour. Oh, Kendo, please do not. I don't do enough to warrant subscriptions, but thank you. Oh my god. This fucking game tonight. Please stop spending money, guys. I do not. Please stop it. The thing is, I just feel bad because I'm not pleading or anything, but like, my life is not the best in terms of allowing me to do this kind of thing all the time. And as Nick will confirm, the amount of podcasts I've derailed because I can't make it or whatever is it's got up to almost comical levels now. And so the getting subs is, I appreciate every single sub, please. Don't think I'm being ungrateful or anything like that. I really, really do, but I just feel almost bad. But thank you. I know, Sonny, and that's the beauty of this community. When you see the heart of the community like this, you're always grateful for it. But you just, I think you're in many ways very similar to me, in that you always wish you can give more, and like life will allow you to just simply not do that. That's what I mean. I mean, the amount of ideas I've got for videos, and on the podcast, we talk about this a lot. The amount of choice, the ideas we've got for like videos and whatnot behind the scenes. But in terms of like the time and putting them together and everything, like all four of like the main team, we just literally can't dedicate the kind of time it would require for editing, putting it together, voicing it, things like that. It's, if I could do this full time, it would literally be the greatest thing, because the ideas that we have as a team, which would just be wonderful, but it's so difficult. It's like even just like covering the reveals. The reveals for like Resident Evil 3 have all happened on a weekday at 4 o'clock when all 4 of us are working. So what happens is a mad scramble behind the scenes to try and get like the trailer up and try and get the discussion up, and then I try and race home from work and record a piece to the video, and I only do like a 10-minute video, and it takes an hour to edit, half an hour to upload, and it's just comical for, you know, for just like a trailer for Resident Evil 3. Bloody Jerry, please stop, please. If you really wanted to see Saturn version Chris's blocky shoulders, now is the perfect camera angle for it. Because look at these squares. That is Alone in the Dark era, guys. Look at that. There is not a single curve on Chris's shoulder there. He is one blocky guy. And while you Minecraft Chris, yeah. And while you gaze at that, I will just have a 1 minute AFK and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, we're back. Are you with JC saying take care? Does that mean you are departing us for this evening? And the sound has gone again. I'm determined to get to the ticks tonight. I'll probably have to leave it there because it's getting. Well, it's not massively late yet. It's not quite 11. It's 20 to 11 in the UK. Where are you guys from? I know people like Sunny are across the Atlantic, but oh, wicked! Nice to hear that. Oh man, that didn't go well, does it? Missouri, nice. Michigan. Oh man, I love America. I've been twice in my life. I went to LA and New York, which I know you probably spit at me and say tourists, but believe me, I love both occasions very much. Richard Gibson, this version is interesting. it has a few nice changes for sure. I mean, visually and audio-wise, it doesn't hold up to the PlayStation version at all. Although there are some subtle tweaks in the background, and there's a really big tweak at the end, which is interesting. Chris fights without, it's not spoilers. Chris fights 2 tyrants instead of 1 in the lab, which is non-canon and really weird. And you get a battle mode in this, which is very similar to the Code Veronica battle mode. But the biggest in terms of sort of canon change, I'm going to try and show you tonight, which is in the caverns, you do not fight hunters. You fight something that resembles hunters, but are definitely not. Right, so I've got to prepare for the snake battle now. So the Yawn fight is Chris in the ballroom, which is not in the library as it is in the remake. It's a bit nasty in that it's just more of a weird sort of battle royale. I'm sure there are no damage runs, but I'm not that good. So you have to sort of just prepare for the fact that you're going to take damage. All I do is take the shotgun in, and I just take the hits. I do believe they are in slightly higher res. I think they're literally like the next one up. I'm not very good at their resolutions, but there's some slight enhancements in the backgrounds, and I do recall there's something like 400 by 300 or something like that, as opposed to 320 by 240 on the PlayStation version. So as you've probably noticed, I'm going to go and do the Yawn fight now, and the Rebecca attacked by hunter sequence is not mandatory in this version because obviously it doesn't occur in the same place. I don't think. It's just a case of I didn't dummy it well enough. I tried. Yeah, beta writing on the wall is great. The little cutscene you get in the using the item box is cool as well. It's not how let's come. Oh right, okay, I didn't know that. I wonder why that was then, Kyle. Is there a specific reason why the Saturn version gets better backgrounds then? Is it to do with the architecture, or is it just better compression given that it was a later version? Like the tools that were available. I'm going to do a save state here just to make it easy. You know what? I'll take that. I'll take that. That wasn't bad. On caution, but it'll do. And here, guys, is a totally unique room to the original. This room is not really represented in any way whatsoever in the remake. You can call this a ballroom if you like. No file down here because George Trevor was only a thing in the true story behind Biohazard at this point. So it's obviously part of the original plan, but they chose not to include it in the game at all. Nick, it's not the Director's Cut DualShock you find. Oh man, how did I miss that? Oh, Dead Man's Click. Jesus fucking hell. Yeah, I cannot get the sound emulation on this version working right. This is the Yabashan Shiro latest build, and it's nearly there, but I just can't quite get the audio right, and it glitches, which is one I've been having the crashes, unfortunately. Well, I think Yaba Shinsho is just a front end for Yabause. I think it still uses Yabause. I'm probably saying that wrong. I'm going to struggle to pronounce that, but Alexei US Silent the 4. Thank you for joining. Welcome to the stream. Saturn version of Resident Evil. My ability has totally left me tonight, so I can only apologise for the ability on display. One of my favourite areas. If you wanted a reason why the original is better than the remake, it's this room right here. I don't even have a small key for that fucking drawer. And that's got some Magnum bullets in it. The only file you don't get a version of in the remake is the scrapbook. Which is just basically clippings of the local magazine, local newspapers. But it's brilliant. It establishes so much lore. So that you even get locations: Marble River, Cider District. This was the first file reading this back in the pre-Resident Evil 2 days. For me, that expanded the universe so much bigger than it was. See, this is a story I'd love to see played out. STARS members just going through the Arkley Mountains and trying to, help. Who wouldn't want to see like an episode of Resident Evil where like the Bravo team are dispatched to just help search for lost people? I would watch that. If that was the Netflix series, I would tune into that. So this is not the director's cut, so we're completely safe in looking out the observatory window. I'll leave the clip because I need the inventory. But this is one of the biggest things missing from the remake. Here you go. I can look over to the courtyard from here, and there's the heliport. That's a big moment in the game, that is. And it's totally missing from the remake. This is not Deadly Silence, so there is no Chimera here. You get a nice little Chimera walking cutscene, which makes no sense whatsoever, and you can assume it's non-canon. So I am grabbing all the ammo discs because I'm going to unlock the Saturn exclusive costumes to show you guys. It's the director's, it's the arrange mode of the Deadly Silence version. You get a little cutscene when you first enter that room with the ammo disc. You get a little cutscene of a silhouetted Chimera in front of the camera that moves past it, and you get a couple of them, and then it attacks you as you do the puzzle, I recall. I'm obviously not saying this officially, Kyle, but it emulates pretty well if you were to try it. It's got a lot of touchscreen puzzles which are varied, and there's a few first-person cutscenes, a few first-person knife sequences which are interesting in that they've captured new camera angles of the backgrounds, which I always found fascinating. And you can, in the multiplayer mode, you get to play as the Bravo team for the first time. Mouth of Richard, yeah. Oh, can you believe that? Oh my god, it's a monster worse than a hunter. What the fuck's it gonna be? thankfully, unlike Director's Cut, this is not a super zombie. Sloppy Joe. I always remember being fiercely intimidated by this hunter corridor here, because this always felt like a bottleneck before getting to the next part of the game, because the hunter can really mess you up here if you misjudge it. Because if he staggers you, the other one does the jump attack, and then it just all goes wrong. Perfect. In that corridor in the Director's Cut, that is just 2 spiders in there, which is actually much easier. So as any Resident Evil player knows, when you come back to the mansion it's about plotting routes. Now in the remake I tend to clear the upper corridor, and that always tends to be my route back to the East Wing save room. On this version, because you've got spiders in the Cerberus corridor, it makes it very easy to just clear that hunter and just use this way. Because these are a non-event, the Cerberus. Sorry, the spiders. I have seen the Red Hunter. I was one of the people, I think I've even mentioned it on the podcast, who is an advocate that it actually exists. And I had to go to great lengths on Twitter one day back in the day of actually trying to capture it and show it. But it's definitely in there. And I think it is even classed as a sweeper. But yeah, it's definitely, I mean, this corridor here is notorious because it jumps down from the balcony there. Right. Let's leave the python. Right, tick time. Nick, we're nearly at the ticks. It's literally 5 minutes away. But farewell and thank you for watching. Fuck off. It's a good little puzzle this. I'm pleased they used it in the remake. It's definitely worth picking up, Kyle. It's a very interesting version of the game. I mean, post remake, you know, you would ask yourself like, why isn't Lisa Trevor been sort of retroactively put into the game, but and I think Deadly Silence definitely misses her involvement. But as a port of the original game, it's very interesting, and seeing like the arrange mode, which is a nice hybrid of like director's cut elements and things like that. It's an interesting version of the game. Like I would put on the arrange mode today and have no idea how to do it without sort of working my way through it again. Because it did what the director's cut did, in that it mixed up all the locations and everything like that for the items. There's a new boss fight with Yawn that you do in first person with a knife in the guardhouse, which is a bit contrived and it's ridiculously hard. But again, it's fun. You know, it's just an interesting way of seeing another version of this game. The fact that it came on the 10th anniversary of this game now, and that 10th anniversary of this game is already like 14 years ago. Like to think that like Deadly Silence is 14 years old is just ridiculous. But it used updated character models, which was interesting as well. It has exclusive costumes, so Chris gets a ninja costume. Rebecca gets her nurse costume, does she? Am I right in thinking, guys? Nurse costume. And I can't. What does Jill get? What is Jill's Deadly Silence costume? No, Rebecca's a cheerleader. Sorry. Yeah, Rebecca's a cheerleader. Thank you, Eileen Valentine. What's Jill's costume in Deadly Silence? Thank you, JC. Yeah, that was a really rough. I don't know what was going on there, but that was rough. Right, here we go. I'm going to do a save state. Let's meet the Ticks. Oh, it was, yeah. It was like a variation on her short skirt Resident Evil 3 costume, wasn't it? Let's get the flamethrower. No, I can't take the flamethrower. Shit! Because I need to pick up the hexagon crank. So I love the caves here as well. I think they're really eerie. I really love the fact that in this version there's a big hole that you have no idea what it is and why it's cordoned off, but it never gets explained. Are you ready for Enrico? Is that voice Enrico's?
Enrico!
Don't come any closer, Chris.
Wait, what happened?
Double crosser!
Don't!
Hell. Umbrella.
Who is it? Is someone there? Double crosser? What did he mean by that?
if you accidentally pick that up, there's no item boxes in the caves at this point, so it's a... Oh, here's a tick. There we go. They are like a weird, hunched hunter. There you go. They've got scythes for hands, they don't have the claws, and they have their own unique death animation, which I will let him do. And it basically involves him slitting your throat and then doing the decap. Let's try and get a good... There you go. So he kind of does a quick slice, which cuts your throat. You stand there bleeding for a second, and then does a second slice, which decapitates you. So I will actually, now you know what to look for, I'll do it again. But these are the ticks. These are hunters.
Enrico.
Don't come any closer,
Based
Chris.
on like
Wait.
what are we calling it? Flea DNA,
Double
Nick.
crosser.
Don't!
Instead of amphibian DNA, it uses like you know,
Umbrella.
fly or flea DNA.
Who is it? Is someone there? Double crosser? What did he mean by that?
So yeah, here we go. They're brown in skin. They've got a huge hunchback, and this was totally exclusive to the Saturn version. So they make the same sounds as hunters, but they've got scythes for hands. I mean, look how hunched their backs are. I mean, all the animation's the same, like the claw grab, the jumps, and everything. But the death animation is interesting. So I'm cautious. I should get it any second. Just watch out for the sound. Fucking sounds died. So there you go. Chris gets his throat cut, and then he gets decapitated. And that is the tick. It's very similar to Scorpion's fatality in MK2. Yeah, that's a very good shout. It was. See, I've reloaded the save far too early. It's the sound issues still there. So yeah, the Saturn version is an interesting port because it has something like that in it, even though it's inferior in, like, you know, 3D visuals, audio. Is the Saturn version the definitive port of the original? I don't know, because the arrange modes are really cool, but the battle mode is also really good in terms of replayability. Oh, and I will show the battle mode off as well. Here it comes. We actually will get a really good look at the tick with this camera angle, and I'm gonna do a save state just as it starts. There you go. Oh, that's about the best. Let me just do it again. I mean, I know the sound's botched, but I mean, that's about your best look at one. Here's a couple of them. So obviously the animation will resemble a hunter, but the actual total appearance, I mean, that actually looked like it impaled me in the back there. they are sufficiently different from a hunter to stand out. You get a nice little low animation roar there. It's more with feeling. They're just such a fascinating creature because it's one of the things that's never ever come back. And I think, am I right, Nick, in Biohazard Stars, was this the creature that, yeah, they do, they impale, if they get a back kill, they impale you. Did you see that? Someone clip that, that's ace. You actually saw the, that's a good shout, JC, yeah, I'll do that. But you actually got to see the impale there, they impale you from the back. And then decap you. You should get a really good look at it here. I'm just going to have a quick 1 minute AFK, but I will leave it on that screen because the emulation is paused now. That is the Tick, ladies and gentlemen. That is the Saturn exclusive enemy. So, what I'll do is I've got to obviously get the sound going again. So I'll just quit out, and then I'll do the spider. I'll get to the caves save room, and I'll have to call it there. For an evening. Unfortunately, Sonny, it's Thursday night. I'm at work in the morning. I cannot spare any time for outbreak shenanigans tonight, unfortunately. And no, there is no more drinking tonight because, like I say, it is a school night. I have to behave. Eileen Valentine, I actually do have a plan to stream the 1.5 latest version of the Martin Door or Martin Zombie version, which has the Spider-Man in it, and it's really cool. So that will be coming at some point. I'm sorry, Sonny. Magic Zombie Door, that's it, yeah. Fucking thing. We're gonna see. You'll see at least one boulder though tonight, folks. See, back in the 90s, this would have seemed like a really good optical illusion, but in the punishing visuals of HD, it doesn't quite look the same. Unique music track. Oh, fucking of course. I've summoned that thing and I can't even fucking pick up the magnum bullets. I'm nearly finished, JC. But yeah, thank you for sticking it out as long as you did. And then we will finish next time with. Oh my god, these things are gonna fucking kill me. We will finish with the lab. But thank you very much, JC. Fucking poison, man. I'm gonna die. I am going to die. Just tell him. Fucking how is that thing still holding on? Had like one leg. Oh my god. Richard Gibson, thank you very much. Yeah, you are more than welcome to link any clips, particularly clips that make a total mockery of me, or always more than welcome. We never take ourselves seriously on these streams, so the more the merrier. It was a poor performance indeed. But if you guys wanted it, there's another really good angle of the tick. Need that blue herb real fast. Just thinking about it as well, I've actually got to pick up the flamethrower. One blue herb, aren't they generous? Right, there is where I unfortunately have to leave it for tonight. I won't quite get the lab done tonight, so I'll look to try and finish it on Saturday. So other than that, that was a fun stream. We got quite a lot done tonight. You got to see the ticks, finally, which is the most interesting thing this port has to offer outside of the battle mode, so I'm pleased we got that done. We will see some further changes once we get into the lab. It's not just the double tyrant, there is a background change which is really nice in the Saturn version and arguably makes more sense, if you like. But until then, yeah, thank you very much for streaming, watching everybody. Thank you so much for the subscribers. You really didn't have to do that, guys, but I appreciate it so much, thank you. So until then, until next time, have a lovely start to your weekend. And until I speak to you all on Saturday, have a lovely Friday. Good night. See you very soon. Thank you for the newcomers who have watched for the first time tonight. Good night. Take care. I appreciate every single view, every single sub. So thank you. Good night.